Callahan here. Want to make a quick video. Hanging out in Philadelphia, getting ready for the ASCA Snow, basically educational event with Snow Magazine tomorrow. In the hotel room here, I've got the TV monitor behind me. Just going over my slide deck, making sure I'm ready to provide 45 to 50 minutes of content before we do the live panel. But my question that just kind of pops in my head as I'm getting ready for this talk in Philadelphia tomorrow is, how are you going to be the industry disruptor in your market? So without giving away the majority of my talk, I want to take an example of what we did in our snow removal company as well as a lawn care company. But we addressed the good, the bad, and the ugly, and the questions that our competitors just did not want to address. And by doing so and answering them transparently and honest and upfront, we gain our potential new consumers' trust before we ever knew who they were. And one of the examples we did this is some background in upstate New York and Rochester. Snowplow contractors have a black eye, especially in the residential market. And what happened every year, it still happens to this year, I'm sure it'll be on the news in a few months, contractors or con artists come in, they take consumers' cash money, and they skip town. So the ability or the desire to talk about price and contracts and payments in my local market, even to this day, is something that the local competitors do not want to address. And for by all means, I didn't want to address it myself. But when we acted and thought a little bit differently, and we addressed this up front on our website and especially in social media, we showed them what was included in the service, what wasn't included. And one of the things in our residential contracts that wasn't included was snow that didn't fall from the sky. So drifts or snow pushed at the end of driveways or snow pushed in the driveway from the sidewalk plow. That was not included in our general contract price. There was a minimum of $25 to do the work, and then if we didn't have any crews on the road or in that area, it was an additional $65 to mobilize that crew and piece of equipment. But by addressing the elephant in the room and owning it, we became a very transparent company and trustworthy. So what I'm going to suggest is figure out what the perceptions of your industry, whether it's lawn care, snow plowing, home cleaning, is, and address the negative conceptions. And through transparency and honesty in social media and your website and potentially YouTube and LinkedIn. LinkedIn's a great place for commercial property managers and buying people that make buying decisions. Is let's address those up front. Let's attack the ugly of our industry, be upfront and honest, and put it in writing and in video and address them. Just like we did how we said that snow removal for the end of the driveway, the sidewalk plow, was not included after we've already been there. It was an additional $25 minimal charge plus an additional $65 mobilization fee. And we addressed it up front, unlike our competitors. We also took it to the next level. We addressed the con artists in the market taking people's money and skipping town. So to overcome that, we were very, very upfront and honest how we priced snow removal and what payment methods were accepted. So to be like everyone else on the actual local news that was getting arrested and taking people's money in the residential snow removal, we required a signed contract and either check or credit card. So we had record of payment. If we didn't have the combination of both, if you paid us and we didn't have a signed contract, or you had a signed contract and you didn't pay us by November 1st, we would literally return your money in the contract and you were not a client. So by addressing it up front, owning the elephants in the room, we were different. We were able to charge a higher price. And consumers were okay with us charging for the extra services that most service providers, quote unquote, said they included, but they didn't. And they waited till the consumer was literally stranded in their driveway or parking lot, and not so their consumers couldn't get in and out of the parking lots that were plugged up from the snow, and then charged them. But by being upfront and honest and owning those concerns of the general market and the con artists that were taking people's money, we gained the trust of our potential consumers before we ever knew who they were. And to be a disruptor like the CarMaxes and the other players such as Amazon, we need to think differently. We want to disrupt. So the first step is to address the questions and concerns in your market, own them, document them on your website, social media, and other social media platforms. And I'll continue to build some more content around that. But my challenge to you today is be the CarMax of your industry. Look the way, and understand the way consumers are buying and how their habits have changed, and they're looking and becoming educated, and they want the risks taken out of the buying equation. And if we can do that, through changing the way we provide our services and the way we bill for them. Even if it's more than our competitors, we will disrupt our local market and have a competitive advantage. So comments or questions, drop them below. I want to say what's up to Matthew, Luke, Chad, and Brad. But getting ready. So if you are in the Philly area tomorrow, I believe there's a few seats left for the ASCA Snow educational event. Going to be in Chicago next week for Snow Magazine and ASCA again, and then the following week at GIE. So I know Krista and the team will be down at GA. We were going to be hanging out at the Service Autopilot booth as well there. And then about a week and a half after that, SA6. We've got a free event before SA6 that the Simple Growth team is hosting. Most of the Simple Growth team is flying down to SA6 in Plano, Texas this year. So it's a free event. We're going to show you how to set up SA, a one-day free implementer event, and then the following day, Chris Volpe and I take the stage at SA6. And it's going to be one of the ones talks you don't want to miss, because Chris and I are going to break down what a fully set up SA instance looks like, and then the rest of the conference is breakout workshops. So you will have a roadmap to what conference workshops you want to attend based on Chris and I's talk when we explore and really lift the hood of what a fully set up SA system looks like. And some of the things will probably surprise you. What you thought you should have had in certain line items for his numbers are probably just the opposite. So definitely looking forward to seeing everybody in Philly tomorrow, Chicago next week, GIE the following week, and about a week and a half after that, Plano, Texas, XA6. And in February, we're going to be at Lawn and Landscape Magazine's tech event in Orlando, Florida, taking a red eye right after that. And we'll be in Savannah, Georgia at the QDS Quality Driven Software Martha Woodward's event, as well as a one-day full event the day after Martha's event in Savannah. I've been a little late getting the sign-up form on there, but hopefully I'll have some time here while I'm on the road to get that up and get some information for Savannah, Georgia in February, right after the Lawn and Landscape Magazine Tech Conference coming up in February. So Philly tomorrow, Chicago next week, right after that, the following week, GIE. Week and a half later, we're going to be in Plano, and then February, Orlando and Savannah, Georgia. Comments, questions, drop below, and hope you see you at one of the live events, Mike Callahan and the Simple Growth team.